Hello again, it's Garson, and today we're going to see the epic, amazing, totally not fabricated for the perfect scenario power of Flame Blade. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Okay, we're going to just wet you. And then we're going to use arsonist oil. And then, Minnie, go ahead and hold Murphy down. Sorry, Murphy. Okay. And then go ahead, shoot him with your arsonist oil, if you would. There you go. Okay. Yeah, we learned this last video. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and destroy the water. And now, the ultimate power. Totally not, like 100% legit. Ready? Woo! Yeah! Whoa! 142 power! That's amazing! How did he do that? That's what we're here to find out. Alright. You keep burning yourself. So, Flame Blade. Is that what we're talking about today? You bet your butt we're talking about that. Quick intro. So let's just dive right into it because Flame Blade is weird as AF, okay? Let's just get into it. But of course, thank you for those who support the channel. Thank you for just watching. If you want to support the channel or know more, we'll talk about it later. Obviously, you're here for Flame Blade, so let's get into it, right? Not really action-packed at the front because this is quite the interesting topic. It's somewhat covered, it's somewhat not. Kind of want to go over it, but let's get the weird stuff out of the way just for those who are interested, alright? So if you're here watching the Flame Blade, that's what pulled your attention. These are the things you probably wanted to know. So don't do Mephistopheles Tiefling, or maybe don't use it as your main focus. Why? Because, alright, Karlach here is a Zerial Tiefling, right? So she doesn't get it as a racial, but if you make a custom character, your main character, or a hireling, there's a certain sub-race of tieflings that will get this Flame Blade. It's only going to come as the level 2 variant, alright? And it's not really worth it to just focus in on that, and it also has the restriction of being forced to use it as a charisma only, like, Flame Blade, okay? Also, and we're gonna learn why that's important too, but maybe add it to the build if you're gonna try and focus on Flame Blade. Don't make it like reliable. It's also once per long rest, so you'll get 10 turns of it and then after long rest, I doubt it. There is a single scroll of this. You cannot learn it as a wizard, so let's just get that out of the way. It's found in Act 3, but it's not exactly practical to go find this thing and use it. Again, you're gonna use it once for the whole game. Okay, that's your whole build, I guess. Druid really is the only practical way to go for Flame Blade, okay? So, it's the only way to really learn the spell. You're gonna have to go up to 3 levels of Druid to get it, and then from there you can do whatever the hell you want, but you have to accept the fact that you're gonna be some part of Druid, alright? It does run off of your spell attack. What this means is it's your accuracy. So your normal, like, attack and accuracy right here, your attack and damage modifiers have nothing to do with this. It's all about your int, wisdom, or charisma based on how you do this. It's confusing somewhat because of this, right? And also it's not always wisdom because based on your last class chosen, like I chose Druid 3 levels first and then took my first level in Sorcerer, so now it's based on charisma, okay? So it's not always wisdom. It's based on your spellcasting modifier, which makes this somewhat confusing, and that's why we'll get into it, alright? And then to make things even weirder, if you wanted to somehow use Searing Smite, which is not practical, but I'll get into that too. If you wanted to use like Paladin, so you could do some Searing Smite build with your Flame Blade, your spell modifier is changed when you use the Searing Smite. It changes to Charisma. It's weird. It just gets weirder and weirder with this thing. You can't use Sneak Attack. It's not a finesse weapon. See this? Rhapsody is a finesse light weapon. If we were to take out the Flame Blade, ta-da! It is not a finesse weapon, so you can't sneak attack with it, okay? The Marco Heshkur, the legendary staff, does not add proficiency damage. I do believe it does give you heat, but it's just not really enough to add heat stacks from this. I would not recommend this. There's the Spellmite gloves. Oh yes, the Spellmite gloves, they do not work. This is considered a spell attack roll, and yet it's not. Again, it's weird, so the Spellmite gloves don't work. Okay, and then Arcane Acuity does work, so if you wanted to use the Arcane Acuity hat and keep stacking Arcane Acuity and keep buffing this up, for every fire damage you do, it'll add 2 stacks, so that works. Arcane Synergy does not work. So the Helm of Arcane Synergy does not add anything in as far as what I'm seeing, so no, that does not work. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong there. I try to get it working. I don't care about the glitch for the permanent blade. This happens a lot in comments. I have no problem. I'm gonna get 100 comments now that says, hey, what about the glitch? I don't care about the glitch. You can do it. Personally, there's nothing wrong with it, and I don't mind the comments, but just so we're clear, I don't care about the glitch because it's not really like what I'm analyzing here. So if you want permanent glitch blades, flame blades, 2 of them, you can look that up. There's plenty of resources out there to show that. I'm not here to cover that. And there's also something that isn't covered. I've noticed no one seems to know about this. Maybe I'm wrong, or it's just not documented very well, but Mini has a little secret buff for the flame blade. Doesn't mean Mini should be the flame blade user though. We'll get into that. So let's actually look at the spell. Okay, so here we are. Here's the flame blade. I'll leave it up for you guys. All right. Flame blade is a level 2 spell. Alright, it uses your bonus action, as you can see down there. It is a pure 3d6 scimitar, so when you create it, it's just pure damage. We'll create it again for you, so you can just see it for yourself. We'll pause. Okay, so here's the actual flame blade right here. It is a 3d6 weapon. We've added some other stuff in there, but we'll talk about that stuff. Flame blade, scimitar, light. So it is a weapon, but it's not a weapon. Really interesting. We'll get into that. So like I said, it lasts for 10 seconds. So if we allow this to go, you'll see on the screen here, we'll hold that up. While that goes, it'll last for 10 seconds. It's a weapon, but it's not a weapon. I say it's not a weapon because it doesn't use your strength dex bonuses or your proficiency. Actually, I think it does use your proficiency, but it doesn't use, like, you know, your strength dex bonus. And yeah, it just doesn't operate as a weapon. It operates more as a spell attack. So your spell attack is your accuracy, but not your damage. Just like you would usually see in a strength dex weapon, you won't get your damage here. Okay, so that's weird. It operates more like a cantrip attack, and yet it's considered a leveled spell. Oh my god, it's so weird. Okay, there's just so many weird interactions with this thing. Okay, so can't scale. It can scale up for every 2 level spell slots, okay? So remember, it's starting off as a level 2 spell, so it'll be a 3d6 scimitar. See, it just disappeared after 10 turns. Okay. So it'll start off as a 3d6, but if you want to, you can upcast it at level 4 spell slot or even a level 6 spell slot, and it'll add a 1d6, thereby making it a 4d6 or a 5d6 respectively. What we mean by that is you could upcast it and now it'll actually add 1d6 per 2 levels. So don't be using your level 3 spell slots unless you're really desperate to use this. Your level 5 spell slot unless you're desperate to use a level 4, and so on and so forth, okay? So just know that. Okay, it cannot leave the spellcaster, so we can't throw this thing. Ha, there we go. If I went for a throw right now, it's not going to even let me. If I go into this, I can do throw weapon. See, I can just right click it. If I go here, nothing. See, throw is not even allowed to be highlighted. Okay, so you can't throw it. You can't just give it to somebody. Let me just go ahead, pass it to Minthar. Oh wait, I can't. Let me put it on the ground. Can I just put it on the ground? Can I just put it on the ground? No. Okay, so it can't leave the caster, can't be thrown, all right, and it can't be used by other party members. So that really covers, like, the facts about this thing, okay? There's also the little thing about the spell modifiers. So for those who don't already know, what I'm talking about is, obviously, if you were a druid, and this is where you get your spell, come on up here. Obviously, right here in the druid spell, you would just, you know, put whatever spells you want up. You would grab it from your known list. That's how druids work, and you can then cast it, okay? But here's the thing. If you're just a druid, it's always going to be wisdom, because you're casting with your wisdom modifier, right? However, for those who don't know about spell modifiers, right? Your accuracy on the flame blade is based on this right here, spell attack, okay? Trust me, it's really weird. I'm just trying to keep it simple here. So spell attack, okay? The last class chosen, though, is what your spell modifier is going to determine the flame blade's accuracy is, okay? So this last class chosen is not the last you leveled up, it's the last chosen. So a good example of that would be, okay, I took 3 levels of Druid, so I started off with Wisdom as my modifier. Then I took only 1 level in Sorcerer, and now until I add another class into this multi-class, it's stuck at Charisma, okay? So that's what Flameblade's going to use. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way. For Flameblade, it does work this way, okay? If I added Rogue, for instance, which would be Intelligence, it would now be stuck into Intelligence with just 1 level of Rogue being the last of these 3 choices, okay? So that's how your spell modifier changes, and Flameblade is one of those rare instances where it changes with your current spell modifier, okay? And spell attack is simply, if you look at your weapons, your attack bonus, right? So you would come up here to your spellcaster, sorcerer, your spell attack, as opposed to spell save DC. So let's just clarify that, okay? It's working off of spell attack, so anything that affects that is usually a good, rule of thumb. So how do we acquire this? Well, I think I just said it. 3 levels of Druid. What that means is 3 levels of Druid, you start getting your level 2 spell slots, this row right here, okay? Your 3rd level of Druid brings you up to a 3rd level caster, so that's when they'll give you your 2nd level. Oh, this is so confusing. 2nd level spell slots and spell list for your Druid. And the nice thing about Druid is you don't pick them. You can just know all of them, and then when you need to, just add what you want for the scenario. That's what's cool about Druids, right? Okay. You can also get it from, like I said, specific Tiefling subrace, okay? At level 5, you're going to get 1 per long rest. And this one, to make it even more confusing from what I said, will always use your Charisma as accuracy. So, that's why I said I don't think this is a very good choice if you're trying to put this into the build, unless you're already using Charisma. You get a bonus basic level 2 Flameblade out of it, okay? And it's just flavor, I guess. Okay, so a single scroll in Act 3. This is not able to be learned by wizards, okay? Sorry. So don't be planning on that either, wizards. It'd be cool for Bladesinger coming up in patch 8. But yeah, it's not worth it, and it comes in Act 3, so you're not going to, like, go out of your way to get this or build a build for this later on. Alright, would have been cool, though. Wizards getting screwed over. Alright, so where does it spawn? What do I mean by this is, okay, there's some conditions here. So actually going to reload this real quick. And oh, that's actually the wrong reload. While it reloads in, bear with me, sorry. We'll just kill the guy again. But yeah, anyway, replaces your main hand. So it just flat out replaces your main hand, but there's some conditions here, right? So if you're dual wielding, it's going to actually replace the offhand, even though it's supposed to replace the main hand. So again, if you're dual wielding or have the dual wielder skill and can possibly dual wield this, it's going to replace the offhand. However, it's not going to do that if you're able to dual wield and offhand is free. It'll just replace the main hand, and the main hand will now become the offhand. I know, a little confusing. Alright, let's just pop this guy real quick. Alright, and we'll just use our cool sorcerer build. Yeah, wow, so strong. Oh, yeah. Okay, you just hit nothing. That was good. Alright, blast. Cool. Yeah, he's dead now. Don't worry about him. He's gone. Sorry, Murphy. Alright. Wrong save file, so. Let's let it kind of pop out. So, what we're waiting for is for this thing to go away. Got 4 more turns. I'll try and make this super easy, though. So, normally, if you can't dual wield, like you're just wielding a staff, for instance, it's just going to replace your main hand, right? So if you were holding a staff, the staff's going to go into your inventory, right? Say it was this great axe, and then now the flame blade comes out. But since I have the dual wielding skill on this character, I'll have to show it to you with the dual wielding, right? If you're already dual wielding, let's take a dagger. Put a dagger there, go on. There we go. So since we're already dual wielding, if I whip this thing out, it's going to replace the offhand. So if you need to know this, because if you're going to use a certain strategy, like keep using your bonus actions with the pyro quickness, you need to know how to wield this thing, okay? Alright, so that's weird, right? If you were already dual wielding. Now, if you have an open hand ready and you can dual wield, it's going to shift the current main hand that's capable of dual wielding over to the offhand, okay? Okay, see how it shifted Rhapsody over, alright? Otherwise, otherwise, just go back to this original rule. Like say you were just using a staff, you don't have the capability of dual wielding, your staff is going to go back into your inventory, and you're just going to have the flame blade as your main hand, which is good because if you had like a shield, you could use this with a shield, no problem, right? Okay. And then if you use up your 10 turns and you're in combat, well, that sucks because it's the point of your build, but at least it won't waste an action re-equipping your staff or whatever the hell was there before. Okay, so let's move back up. So what actually buffs this? Okay. I don't have all the examples on one character here, and you're going to see these in examples, but just take my word for it. I did a lot of research for this, and then if I'm wrong about anything, obviously leave a comment. I love it. But dueling gives you a little 2 extra damage when you're using a main hand weapon like this. So that would be 2 more damage of fire. It'll take whatever damage the weapon is when it's dueling, so it'd add 2 more damage to this damage, okay? Rhapsody, of course. Rhapsody always adds damage. Now, Rhapsody almost always adds damage and accuracy to everything in the freaking game. I love Rhapsody. We'll make a video about Rhapsody, but it adds at most, once you've killed 3 people or 3 enemies, you'll get 3 attack rolls, 3 spell attack rolls, 3 spell save DC, and 3 damage. So Rhapsody also adds damage to this thing, okay? Helldust gloves, obviously, if we're working with 1d6s, that's pretty nice because this is also a 1d6, but even the original Helldust gloves you get earlier on, okay? Back this up. There we go. The 1d4 fire, that's pretty nice because if you know anything about stacking damage, there's certain armors in the game that mitigate a little bit of damage, so that helps when you're stacking a single damage type, so you're not getting mitigated too much. All right. And then the Colossus Giant forms, yes, this actually does add to your damage. See, now we're big. And this right here, when you're large, you add a little 1d4. This is also included in the damage. It's going to be fire, so that adds to it too. Hunter Mark 2, Hex apparently as well. I honestly didn't test this, but yeah, this would cause concentration in the vanilla game without mods. And then damage riders like the 2 acid damage, so this was doing 2 little bonus damage. You probably saw it pop up a little bit, right? And then there's kind of the element, I swear this doesn't really work, but since this is a spell that we're hitting them with Flame Blade, this will technically add another 1d4 fire damage on your next hit. I don't know, is whatever. It's honestly not that good for this, surprisingly. Surprisingly, the Marco does not work, and so I can actually prove that one. So let's actually back it up, and I'll kind of show what I can show, right? There it is. So we got the Marco Polo staff. Does not, it's supposed to, if you set your Marco staff, you know, every short rest, you can change its elemental type. Obviously, for elemental builds, it's really crazy, it's really cool. It's supposed to add proficiency to your damage for even cantrips. So any kind of like related element spell or cantrip is going to get proficiency damage, right? And so why do I keep saying this stupid sword is weird? Because if we pop this out, and I do have the Gripped by Koreska, okay? This is working and all this stuff. I'll try and put the notes away too. But let's just go ahead, hit him. Oh gosh. Alright, we need the intelligence, man. This thing is so weird. Okay. So, there we go. See, intelligence modifier, since I just bumped it up by 4. Alright. Let's see. It's changed. Okay. Anyway, stay on track. Stay on track. Here we go. Let's go ahead, hit this guy. Okay. Alright, so let me pop the notes out for a second for you guys. And we'll take a look at the damage, and you can see right over here, Infernal Touch, that's from the gloves. We have the 1d whatever. Okay, but there is no Koreskas, so what's going on with that? What's going on with that? Alright, so let me pop this and see if I can get a nice little firebolt against this guy. Is it working? We missed. Oh, crap. Alright, hold on. Damn it. Work with me, Cuthbert. There you go. Much better. Okay. So, Grip by Koreska's Flame. Okay, so the cantrip, which is a fire spell, is getting the bonus from Koreska's Flame, which is that unique buff you can get from the staff. So right here, you could choose your element. We chose the fire element, Flame of Wrath. It will add your proficiency bonus and keep gaining stacks of heat. So, this does not really work. Okay? Apologize for that, even though it's not my fault. But now you know, the Lego staff does not work. Arcane Synergy also doesn't work. It's a little hard to kind of prove it with this, but just take my word for it because I don't got so much time today. Spell my gloves also don't work. I mean, we'd be sitting here for days. Trust me, I tested all this crap. Spine shutter is another cool idea, but does not work because right here, spine shutter, ranged spell attack. So even though it's a spell attack, it's not ranged. So it won't add the reverb, which kind of sucks because that would have really amped its potential. Battle Mage for accuracy. Since Battle Mage, I'm talking about the Battle Mage Elixir. Since the Battle Mage Elixir will give you three acuity, which is 3 flat spell save and spell attack, that is a really good elixir choice. Fire Acuity Hat, obviously, if you just keep hitting them with Fire Acuity Hat equipped, this would just add 2 stacks of acuity for every fire damage you do. Flame Blade's fire damage. So you would keep getting accuracy added to this, and then it would go up to 10 stacks, and you just never miss. And there's probably more I didn't test, okay? Trust me, there's enough to keep going. But there is a really cool secret buff that people don't seem to know about this. So check this out. Let's reload one of these. And go back to our super cool sorcerer. So cool. Alright. There we go. Let's load this back up. So while this loads in, I want to mention, and I don't know if somebody documented it, great, whatever. I don't see this mentioned, and also it's because the weapon's weird this works, right? Because it's not a weapon, but is a weapon, but is a spell, but isn't a spell. Because you're attacking, you're not attacking. Minthara's Soul Brand, okay, has a 2d4 plus 1 extra fire damage buff on your next hit, okay? So that means once you hit with it, the buff goes away. However, this is so weird of a spell or interaction or whatever, who cares, right? That if we take out the Flame Blade, here we go. That's great. Cool. And then we give her Soul Branding. Okay. Walk up. And now we will hit him with an offhand attack. Okay. So, once again, let me actually pop the notes away. Come back in here. And you will see we got the Soul Branding effect. It's a 2d4 plus 1. It says Soul Branding, so we know it's working. However, Soul Branding is still here. I just did a hit. You saw it. It's right there. Okay, but Soul Branding is still here. So if we hit him again... Okay. Hey, Soul Branding again in the same turn. And it's still here. Okay? Soul Branding does not go away until your next weapon attack. Okay? Soul Branding is now gone. Okay? And we did get a little Soul Branding effect. So we hit him with the Soul Branding attack. It's now gone. Huh. Very interesting. Very cool. I think it's very cool. And this gives your Flame Blade build a very unique buff that's actually really worth it. 2d4 plus 1 is like, that's what you're missing here, right? On just standard, like, good weapon damage. Okay. So it does not end on an actual hit if you don't hit them with a regular weapon. So maybe turn off the little, like, automatic thing down here, toggle dual wielding off, okay? Or just use an offhand build or something, okay? So likely due to not being truly a weapon attack, it's the full 2 turns of the buff, and that means every other turn you can just get mini to buff your guy, but I wouldn't recommend Minthara be the actual Flame Blade user, because she was my original, like, test, and then I saw the branding, like, do this, and I figured out something that was really cool. It's crazy. Alright, so let's just get into my analysis, and I'm gonna go over some build ideas, but real quick, it's kind of bad. I'm sorry, it's kind of bad. Like, I made a disingenuous example at the beginning because I was like, whoa, did you see it do 144 damage? Because it's cool, but it's not super practical. I think the sorcerer build is how you would really optimally build for this thing. Funny enough, just because figuring out all the little tricks and BS and weirdness, but you're going to be a druid. 3 levels of druid, no objections, okay? Maybe correct me if I'm wrong because you figured out how to learn Flame Blade as a wizard or something and got it in Act 1. I don't know. And mods don't count. Obviously, I don't care about the glitch. We've talked about this. I won't belabor the point, but just if you're going to comment about the glitch, do it to help people have fun with the weapon. But in terms of, like, honor mode and legit strategies and how to understand the game, like, that's not what I'm interested in. Breaking or glitches is not really interesting to me. options are nice though, and more fun for people. Mini probably shouldn't use it because you're constantly wasting your bonus action, and like I said, it seems better for a bonus action weapon, but you can build different ways for this thing. That's kind of cool. I just wouldn't use it. I would definitely put her in the party because like I said, Mini could just support your Flame Blade user with a really powerful buff. It also gives let's go to Mini real quick. Can I see this? Yeah, thanks, Mini. Okay, so it's going to give the buff, but it also gives a little movement speed. So that's actually really nice. So for 2-3 turns, you're going to actually have 5 extra movement speed. With haste, that's doubled, so that's pretty good. If you use Boots of Speed like I do, that's even more. Or you could just use your dash on your action since you're using your bonus actions to attack if you're planning it that way. So Mini should definitely be on your group if you're using this thing, and you might actually make it worthwhile and not bad. Sorry. Alright, but hey, okay, so Spell Might is dumb compared to... This was an old note because I figured Spell Might would work. It's a spell attack. It doesn't, so that should kind of lead you to possibly use the Helldusk. These seem best in class because gloves are a very competitive slot anyway, but this gives you a lot of bang for your buck because look, spell attack, spell save, that means this gives us 1 accuracy, plus if we're a spellcaster, we're benefiting from that. And we're getting another 1d6, but this comes in Act 3. Okay, so what you can do is end up using the regular Flawed Helldust from Damon, and then you get 1d4 here, get a strength saving throw, but at least you're adding a little bit more damage to your Flame Blade. Okay, it's pretty cool. Alright. And Savage Attacker is an amazing choice for this thing. If you don't know about Savage Attacker, you should definitely learn about it, and you should definitely use this. Savage Attacker, since you're not going to be using something like Great Weapon Master all in, the 10 more damage for using a two-hander weapon, okay, use your feet for Savage Attacker. This, I didn't do the math, but on average, the math is supposedly a 20% damage increase. And really all you need to understand is if this is using dice damage and no flat bonuses, if you're just stacking dice damage, this on average pushes your Savage Attacker, pushes this dice damage up a considerable amount on average to, like, if this was going to land a 3d6. So each 6 roll might land in the middle around 3 damage. This is going to push it to 4 or 5 more on average, which is an actual good net increase. Trust me, just like watching it just ends up being the better damage source. Okay, or just, you know, damage increase. It's worth the feat. Bonus action doesn't work correctly. What I mean by that is we can technically go rogue or even monk or some other way. We can use the pyro quickness hat as you've seen, but with rogue thief we can get 3 bonus actions. Okay, I'm going to show this to you, but the second and third bonus action gets spent at the same time. It's super lame and buggy. Grit Helmet Grit Helmet does this too, but Grit Helmet could knock you out of the health threshold, and then you can go back into it, the health threshold, and then you can get your action back. It's weird. Okay, I don't even want to show this, but just noting it, it's stupid. All right, the Searing Smite is fun, but really highly impractical. The spell slots, actions, and bonus actions, right? When you use Searing Smite, it costs an action, a bonus action, and your concentration. So you're definitely not hasting yourself. You're not using Hold Person. I just have problems with Searing Smite anyway. But just know that, yes, I've tried out putting these together. The multi-class headache for feats with this is pretty annoying. It's not too bad, but again, you want Savage Attacker, and then you want to amp your, what is it, your spell modifier with like 2 additional to get your charisma or whatever up. It's a headache. Okay, but if you're gonna do this, maybe go Druid first and then Paladin, because then you get the Searing Smite, but then you lose heavy armor. Oh man, do you see the headaches I'm talking about with this? Okay, and remember it's 10 turns, and then Searing Smite changes the spell attack roll to charisma, so maybe you wouldn't have to. Oh my god, it's just so weird and confusing, and it honestly doesn't hit that hard for what you're trying to spend on this. You're spending a level 2 spell slot at least, and then you're spending a spell slot to smite, and then you're choosing action, bonus action, concentrate. Wow, that's annoying. Let's move on. I have not run a dedicated build in a real honor run or tactician or anything like this. I'm just researching a lot of the quirks here, so aka I don't know, I'm not smart, I may be wrong, please forgive. And patch 8 is bringing Blade Singer, and this seems really cool for a multi-class for Blade Singer. So without further ado, let's actually load up the examples. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go straight into Druid here. A pure druid will give you 3 feats because you're 12 levels. Okay, land druid seems to be the best if you want to use your main hand because you can get haste. That gives you the 2 armor class, the bonus movement, and you can just whack people twice now as if you were really a martial character. So something to think about. Or just use the pyro quickness hat. You can use your offhand as an attack. The pyro quickness will give you a bonus action, and then you just do 2 bonus actions like that. And this is the highest level flame blade. By being a pure class, you can go all the way to level 6, which means we can cast this all the way to level 6, right? So real quick, we are a land druid, level 12, high wisdom, okay? And we do have savage attackers, so there it is. We got our wisdom up through ASI and the hag hair, so just to explain all that. And we do have, you know, Helldust gloves. You're going to see a lot of the same stuff here. But what I was talking about is you'd use the pyro quickness hat, but we've seen that in the sorcerer example, so I'm just showing you fire acuity. This also means spell attack is being worked off wisdom since we're just stuck in druid, and we'll use this to keep our, you know, haste going. Okay, so like I said, this is something funny because I always like the idea of a caster role-playing as a martial class. What I mean is you don't get a bonus attack when you're a caster, right? You're level 5 bonus attack. So let's go ahead, give her that, and let's turn this off and just hit them, and that way we retain the buff. Okay. Good job. That's why you get 2 attacks. I don't think I even gave her an elixir, so there's that too. But hey, more to the point. We just got acuity for that, so we were at 80%, right? Now we'll be even higher because our spell attack just went up from battle acuity. But the reason I said turn off your dual wielding is because if you hit them with the offhand, you lose that Minthara buff, right? So we want to keep that from happening. We're already hasted, so let's just roll the turn over. There we go. Oh, you got it. There goes my battle cutie. Crap. Oh! You're supposed to dodge it. Look, Gale understands. Cheating wizard. Alright, get these guys in here. We're gonna be mean to them. Sorry. Alright, so... Oh, she's laughing about it. Alright, so we still have soul branding for a turn. That's good. Let's go ahead and freeze these guys with Minthara. 1, 2, and 3. So, I didn't put it in the notes, but obviously since it is a weapon and it has dice rolls, it can crit. And hold person is a great way to crit, so if you don't already know that. Okay, let's try this instead. What we'll do is use our Battle Mage Elixir. It's going to boost our accuracy by 3. Let's just went up. Alright, so now... Oh, hold person. Doesn't matter anymore. We'll just beat the crap out of them. Boom! So, obviously if you crit, you can double all that dice damage. That's cool. Alright. And this might be what your strategy is to really get some damage in. Alright, but not too bad if we have that Minthara buff from the soul branding, right? Doing pretty good here. Okay, well, what do you know? And then, of course, we'll just, we'll use our racial. Yeah! Oh, wait, see? That's why Searing Strike isn't too crazy. Say you had haste or some other important concentration, you'll just get yourself screwed right there. But I think that kind of gives you the point with the Druid, right? You could use both the offhand or the main hand. I don't think you're casting 2 of these. I should actually test that real quick. Let's see. Apologize.
I thirst for combat.
Since we do have the turns, is it going to replace? Because we'll use a different level slot. Okay. Nope. Well, there's your answer. Even I didn't know that one, genuinely. Alright, so screw that. And then we'll just... since it was a bonus action, it didn't waste our turn. But now I'm not hasted, so I can't finish them off. Okay, so then let's switch over to fighter, because we just want to bonk a lot, right? So let me go ahead to the fighter example here. Fighter, Druid 6. Okay, so this is a 6-6 split. There's some benefits here if you don't already know. With Fighter, you get another feat at level 6. So right off the bat, we can still get 3 feats, just like the pure Druid can. We can get haste from Druid at level 6 or level 5. A land Druid at level 5, right, can get haste. So just like a Fighter at a level 11, we could potentially have 3 bonks, right? So that's pretty cool. All right, so with our Fighter, we have 6 Druid, 6 Fighter. Again, we do have the Savage Attacker. I think that's very important. Okay, we are dual wielding. Like I said, Marsh here doesn't really work, so we'll just get rid of that. Let's say we had a shield equipped. All right, and now let's have the staff out. Let's have the staff out and have a shield equipped, so I can show you that to you as well. Let's get some more battle acuity going here. And then let's use fire acuity, do that. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Yeah, let's put this on just in case. Let's see what happens. I don't really have a condition, but can't use brain worms. Oh well. All right, if it works, it works. So we're gonna go ahead, pop that. And then I'll use I can only go up to level 4, but I can still haste myself, and I even have action surge, so we definitely have the bonks if we need it. And then it's now dual wielding. Oh man. So let's swap it, and then let's do this. Alright. And go ahead, give me soul branding again. We wasted turns. Okay. So let's go ahead and bop them. There we go. Cool. Alright. Okay, so Arcane Acuities there from Battle Mage. Go. Hit you there. And we hit you again, so it just bonk, 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 bonk. So doing about 27 damage, okay. Let's bring the next guys in here. Come on, Murphy. Where's that camera angle? Alright. Alright. So another thing Fighter actually brings to the table is we can equip anything and everything, shields included, right? And Ketheric Shield here gives attack save and attack rolls bonus, advantage with saving throws, and the 2 armor class, so you're a lot more tanky if you're going to be using this thing, right? And then we'll go ahead, still have soul branding for a turn, so we'll see what we can do hitting them. There we go, 1, 2. Okay, and 3 attacks, like I said, haste plus bonus action. Look at that. Armor class, we're not getting hit. Oh, we have action surge, so now we can do another 1 and 2. So 5 attacks in a turn. There you go. 31 damage, not too bad. So there you go. Like I said, fighter combo right there. What else we got next? Paladin. Alright, let's load up the Paladin. I want the Searing Smite. I got a Searing Smite. Okay. Paladin, Flame Blade. No, that's cool. I tried to make this work several ways, so I'm just going to keep this simple for you. We're just doing it for the Searing Smite. God, I hate managing all the spell slots and all that stuff. I'm going to try and do the stupid method. If you saw the last video, you know what I mean by that. We'll try and do some stupid damage with the stupid method. But how did I set up our Paladin multi-class? Let's see. Okay. So here we go, little stylistic armor there. Still got the Infernal Gloves, got the Acuity, and we are using Battle Mage there. We're not using this anymore, so screw that. Let's just use our shield, and let's go for Flame Blade, right? So we have Searing Smite, Flame Blade, okay? And we have Soul Branding. Alright, so how do I set up this stupid one? Okay, first I gotta attack him. Like I said, with the multi-class, you get limited, so now you're stuck at level 4. You can't go all the way to level 6. Not too bad. At least you can Searing Smite, right? And then we don't seem to have haste, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and get some soul branding. You can always haste yourself with the bonus action, so alright. And let's Searing Smite him. Ooh. So on my screen, what did that even do? 27 plus 6, okay. So 27 from the regular hit, and the smite itself just did plus 6, which is pretty good. Did the full damage there. But again, we have Savage Attacker there, so we're getting pretty good average rolls, and then we'll have everybody come down here and party, and then we'll hold them down. Shield blow! Donk.
Normal citizens strung up by the city.
Everybody's flying. Come over here, Murphy. Here we go again. Okay, so, like I said, the issue with this is action, bonus action, spell slot, right? So at least it's a level 1 slot, just adding a little damage to it. It's also the flavor. I get it. You want to do it for flavor. The other thing is now we're concentrating over here just to keep a little burn damage on this guy, so we can't haste ourselves. That's why I don't have haste on it. And we are level 4 Paladin and Druid, so we don't have the extra attack. We're just going for smites and as high a level as we want, like level 5, so that's why I did it this way. I did the reverse so Paladin could have the extra attack, yada yada yada. But let me go ahead and see if we can go ahead and get the arsonist oil on here. Let's get, where's it at? Right there. We'll have our water conjurator here. I'll get these guys going. There's water. And then we will go ahead and apply the oil. Now he is wet and oiled, and now we will destroy the water. This is ridiculous, but I love you, paladins, so I do it for you. Okay. And now he is vulnerable to fire. Okay. Look at that. Fire vulnerability for 3 turns. How do you do that? Magic. Go watch the video. Let's see. Can we get a hold person? Okay. Let's go for it. Hold person. And now we get to wait a whole turn. Okay, cool.
Shame no one cares enough. Think about it.
Yep, he's just sitting there ready to die. Okay, so what we'll do is soul brand. I do this out of love, Murphy. I'm so sorry. Not love for you, just love for the fans. There we go. Hey, oh! There we go. 128 with an 82 bonus. Okay, there you go. Enjoy your cooking. And I know you want to see it. And I know. Hold on. So let's go ahead. Here you go. Highly impractical, but it's real. It's real damage. Here it is. 64 vulnerable. Okay. And 41 vulnerable. So we just did a whopping, like, what? Oh, about over 200 damage. It was worth it! New best build! Paladin Druid! Check it out, guys. Okay. Alright, let's pop that back. So there you go. I did the stupid method of creating fire vulnerability. Go check that out. Let's load up the rogue example real quick. And this will also kind of cover our monk because... just take my word for it. This gets ruined a little bit. So the idea here would be pretty cool if the bonus actions don't get wasted. So you have the Pyro Quickness hat. You have the Thief bonus action, or say the Monk, what is it? Stillness of body or something like that. Wholeness of body. And then you would get a third bonus action thanks to the hat and the passive bonuses from the class, subclass, right? So Hand Monk can get Wholeness of body. Thief can get just a straight up extra bonus action. I know about the, what's it called? I do know about the Helmet of Grit, but frankly it just has the same problem and it's even wonkier to try and figure out. So Thief right here has the bonus action, and we do have the Pyro Quickness hat, which will add another bonus action if a leveled spell, which Flameblade is, will give us another bonus action, right? So once again, let's bring out the Flameblade. Okay. And since we are using bonus actions, we're not too concerned about haste, right? So we'll just go ahead and give ourselves the soul branding. And now let's hit them with our offhand attack. Go. Alright, so we bopped them, right? So now we have 3 bonus actions? That's awesome! I get to hit them 2 more times, ready? They just burned both of them. How does that even make sense? What the heck is that? That's ridiculous. Okay, so this would be a really cool combo. Actually, it is actually a cool combo. You just wouldn't be using this hat, and you'd probably be going for fire acuity, or if synergy worked, or maybe you're, you know, whatever. Also, since you're a rogue, if you chose that as your last class, be careful. That would mean your intelligence modifier. You might want to use the intelligence headband. Mine's modified to 18, but it's normally 17. Is it worth it? I don't know. Let's move on. I'm a little disappointed by this. Call me petty. Call me, pretty frustrated with that. So let's just skip to the cool one, alright? Because there's a little bit more to talk about with this. Let's go to the Sorcerer Flameblade. Alright? Now, you get almost all the benefits we've been talking about without any of the downsides. There's just one sucky thing about this. If you're gonna go a Dragon Sorcerer, you get bonus damage from your Charisma, right? Except it doesn't apply to the Flameblade. I know. I don't get it. This thing's weird. It's the running theme with this. However, you can use the hat, since it is a leveled spell, but it's not a leveled spell, but it is a leveled spell. Make up your mind, game. Okay? So we can use the hat to have our bonus actions, 2 bonus actions, right? And use our Flame Blade, which is now Charisma, because we multi-classed into Sorcerer last, right? So now you have a good, like, honestly, a fun Pyro Spellblade. It's kind of crazy, right? So let's just kind of break it down for you. You can go all the way to Flame Blade level 6. Cool. You can haste yourself, right? Cool. And Minnie's on your team, so you can give her boom, soul branding. And then you can just use your bonus action. Boom.
Witnessed assaulting someone.
All right. And you're doing solid damage. That just cut half his HP out, right? But unfortunately, and so I know people want to actually check me on this, so here we go. If you come over here, unfortunately, we're not getting the bonus damage from being a fire dragon sorcerer, right? It's just soul branding, infernal touch, all that stuff. And then if we come out of here, Gale, go away. If we go away, got hit, that sucks, oh well. Okay, if we use our cantrip, just burn that sucker. All right. He is getting she is getting the Gregarious Caster from our Potent Robes, but also the Elemental Affinity from Dragon Sorcerer Fire. Okay? So it is on there. It does work. It just doesn't work on your Flame Blade. Kind of lame. But honestly, this is still good enough, and it all comes together because, again, look, we can use our really powerful level 5 or 4 spells. All right? Everything's working off charisma, accuracy, bonus damage, all that cool stuff, right? Bring this guy down here. Let's go Cuthbert, or Aronson. Yeah, I know your name. I have shield for defenses because I'm a sorcerer. Okay, pretty cool. You can use the Potent Robes to add more damage to your Firebolt, so you have a very efficient ranged attack with Firebolt. And it doesn't waste your bonus action. Oh my god, it all comes together, and it's the Garson stuff we like. Good action economy. I love it. Okay, so again, still have Soul Branding because we're not ever attacking with our regular weapon. And we're going to hit him with our bonus action, get another bonus action, and now with our regular actions, good action economy, we can BAM! And then we're like, you know what? Screw you! I don't like you! Oh, fireball! BAM! And it gets the bonus. Pretty cool. Alright, so I think that is the best bang for your buck. Look, it all comes together on Sorcerer, even 3 levels of Druid. In fact, let me pull this up for you guys just before I forget. We do have 4 Druid for another feat, and level 8 Sorcerer, and since this is 12 levels of a Spellcaster, you get to go all the way to level 6 spell slot. We have the Pyro Quickness Hat to get that bonus action. We have the Helldust Gloves to get that 1d6. Like I said, in the earlier game, you can get in Act 2 this gloves for now. In Act 2, you can get the Potent Robes, be using this to buff out your cantrip, okay? This is just for more HP and advantage Constitution. Again, I don't think this ring's worth it. Caustic Band does work on your Flame Blade attacks. Minthara does buff the Flame Blade itself, right? That's why the 2d4 is there for a full 2 turns, and so on and so forth. It's just spell save at that point, and I think we're using Battle Acuity Elixir on this. It's right there, yeah. Battle Mage Acuity. So that's 3 flat accuracy for both your spells and your Flame Blade, so that's really good, okay? I want to cover this real quick, even though the video's gone on long enough. The wizard I've been using here in the other video, and we're going to see more of this guy. I'm using an Evo wizard on Gale. This gives +5 to all of our evocation spells, not just fire, right? So just as a quick rundown, what we're doing here is Acuity for crazy accuracy. Comes from the Acuity hat. Okay, we're using Legendary Staff because it adds our proficiency to all of our fire attacks, and then we get heat stacks, so Ray, Scorching Ray is ridiculous. And then Rhapsody adds 3 more damage and accuracy. Rhapsody is so good for spellcasters. Okay, Reverb Amulet, because we're using a spell attack in the form of Scorching Ray or even Eldritch Blast. It's going to end up using the Spine Shudder, which we grabbed earlier. So that causes reverb on every single shot. Since you cause reverb, you do 2 more reverb every single shot. And then Spell Sniper was just to get us a Eldritch Blast that works off of intelligence and so on and so forth. Okay, so someone was asking about that. Just wanted to fit that in really quickly. We'll see more of this guy anyway. Okay, all right. So, how to double your fire damage like I did. What was that stupid method I was talking about? Go check out the last video. I'll link it up. It's how to use arsonist oil to get rid of fire resistance and do your max damage with fire vulnerability. Okay, and then what about our cousin, the Shadow Blade? I have a video on that. It's called Sheer Power of Psychic Damage. I'll try and link that for you too. Otherwise, thank you so much. This video's gone on long enough. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. You guys are my sponsor. I now have member support. If you want to sign up for that, it's 99 cents a month, right? Otherwise, I don't care, because thanks so much for watching. I hope this video helped you, and maybe now I can see some really cool flame blade builds like this cool sorcerer build. Whoa, look at that, so cool. But until then, guys, I'll check you out in the next one, all right?